Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Jason, and welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. And this review will be looking at The Fall of Camp Blood, a Friday the 13th fan film. So pop some popcorn, get a drink, and let's talk The Fall of Camp Blood. The Fall of Camp Blood was released in 2022, written and directed by Riley Lordan, and starring Brent Edgett, Peter Anthony, and Taja Cartillo. In The Fall of Camp Blood, we pick up following the events of Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Camp Blood has been shut down after the gruesome murders occurred. Before the demolition of the site, a group of teenagers must venture to empty their parents' cabin before it's destroyed. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason, and you're watching Backtrack Cinema. And today we're doing another Friday the 13th fan film, The Fall of Camp Blood. So, guys, I've been watching a few fan films lately. I just reviewed My Special Boy. I watched The Fall of Camp Blood, and there's a couple other fan films I would really like to talk about, because I think the fan film movies, independent films, Friday the 13th fan films, whatever have you, any kind of fan film, is its own genre now, and they keep getting better and better and better. And this one just went right under my radar. I didn't even hear of this one or anything. I was just, I came across it on my YouTube feed, and I watched it. I was like, you know what? This was damn good, man. This was pretty good. Obviously, a very low budget. I don't know what their budget was like. I'm guessing between $35,000 and $50,000. But their director Riley Lordan, who the Slash and Cast podcast that you guys probably know on the YouTube channel. He's a pretty big channel, good content over there and stuff like that. Big Friday the 13th guy, obviously, really knows the nuances of Friday the 13th and the story, right? And this takes place after Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And I think it's a good place to take it, and where a lot of fans, I think, want to see it be taken from. I think if Hollywood did the big budget Jason movie, I think a lot of us would be satisfied with right after what happened in final chapter. So as we pick up right after the events of final chapter, Jason has a heartbeat. They try to save him. He kills everyone, gets away. The town wants to try to cover it up. It reminds me of Jaws, how Chief Brody had to get rid of the shark, or their town would never be the same. You know what I mean? Jason's kind of like this shark, this unstoppable killing machine, and they try to cover it all up. And so we fast forward a year later, and they want to demolish this town. So they're telling all the residents, get your that you gotta get out of here, because we're demolishing the site where Jason wreaked havoc on. Camp Blood is this closed, and all that kind of stuff. So you have two storylines that come together here. The one storyline is there's this kid, he's got to clean out his parents' cabin before they demolish the site, and got to get all the stuff out of there. And he thought, just have one more night, one more weekend of a good time before they do that. The other storyline is the one that I was most invested in. This is the one I just wanted to see more and more of while I was watching, and that's this character played by Peter Anthony. So he is I'm assuming the oldest brother of Rob and Sandra. So, Rob, he's killing me, you know what I mean? This is his older brother who's going after the hunt Jason, and I thought Peter Anthony was a standout in this film. I just couldn't take my eyes off him. I thought his performance was great, playing that obsessive character of hell-bent on revenge, going after Jason. Friday the 13th always works best when you have a character like this who's hunting or chasing Jason, whether it be Tommy Jarvis, whether it be, Rob coming in number 4, this character here. And I just love how he's hell-bent on revenge. And Peter Anthony just plays this kind of character really, really well. And he's got a lot of charisma. I mean, I could see this dude being a really decent character actor in the big time in Hollywood. Honestly, he has that presence. Peter Anthony has that presence to him that you need to follow someone. They show motive for this character, and you'll just latch onto this character really well. Like, one of the best scenes I have ever seen in a Friday the 13th fan film is in this movie, where this character of James, played by Peter Anthony, is in his garage, and the TV's going on. He smashes the TV because they're talking about the massacre where Sandra got killed, Rob got killed. And he's just stewing, and he's just, he's pacing. He's got this breathing to him. You could see the pain on his face. He's looking at pictures of his brother and sister, and the music is crescendoing up. And remember, guys, music is everything in this movie.
Hey, James. I just want to let you know that I'm heading up to the camp. I'm sorry. I just can't sit around here waiting when I know she's out there somewhere. You of all people know that Sandra would never ignore us like this. I'll give you a call again in a few days, hopefully with some good news. I love you, brother, and I'll see you soon. I'll find her. I promise.
Everything in movies, music's everything. It's the heartbeat. Without the music here, they did a great job with the music, because as it's building up and building up and building up, so is that anxiety and that hatefulness and that revenge of this character of James is coming to the surface. And he packs his guns up, his bag, his knife, and he's like, "Final chapter, motherfucker." I loved it. It's one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in a Friday the 13th film. Not just a fan film, in a film. Friday the 13th film. Great moment. Absolutely great moment. Jason's performance, really good. He looks great. I think the transition from final chapter to this is pretty good. I believe that's that Ted White character, right? And, he's brutal, swift, and fast like he was in final chapter. There's this one moment in a house, and he kicks this lady, Jason, right through the frickin' door, and she goes right through the frickin' door, man. It was brutal. I was like, man, that was pretty good how they did that. I really enjoyed that. And you get a really good final confrontation between Peter Anthony's character and Jason, and it's great. It's great. You actually get to see, you're actually rooting for the guy you should be rooting for. Like, we tend to root for Jason, but I wasn't rooting for Jason in this. I was rooting for James, the Peter Anthony's character, because I was so invested, and I think it was a pretty good climax. And they did have to halt filming on this because Peter Anthony really hurt his shoulder, tore his shoulder apart and his tendons, his bicep, and then he had to come back. And dude was in a lot of pain, man, filming a lot of these scenes. He personally told me that he heard it on when he smashes a beer bottle across the guy's face, and they had to do it a whole bunch of times, and that's where he really hurt his shoulder. And he had to come back for the fight scene in the bar. If you watch this, there's a little fight scene, and he could hardly throw the guy. You know what I mean? But you know what? If I didn't know that information, like when I first watched it, I didn't know that information. I would have known it. It really looks good. It looks pretty great, man. It's a really well put together film, story-wise and character-wise. Now, for the most part, I think all the performances are pretty good. I think a lot of characters are set up for the kill and everything, like the group of kids who are cleaning out the cabin. I wasn't so much invested in them as I was Peter Anthony. Like, they were just kind of, in a lot of ways, they were just kind of there and stuff like that. But that's okay. I wouldn't normally say that's okay. But that's okay because we're following Peter's story. Peter Anthony's story is the important one. And so it's okay to have a group of kids to set up, to be killed. Like, we do get a final girl and everything who probably could have been fleshed out a little bit better, but it's okay in this movie for me. I didn't mind it in this movie at all because of what we got with Peter's character. And I love how there's like the Harry Manfredini music in the background, in a lot of the scenes, especially the end. A lot of homages and shot choices that are very final chapter that you're going to pick up on and you're just going to love. It was great. This was I had a really good time with this film. So Riley Lordan, cast, crew, everyone involved, great job. You made this final chapter fan very happy, dude, seeing a movie put together like this. I really enjoyed it, man. So I'm going to give The Fall of Camp Blood a solid B. So what about you guys? Did you like The Fall of Camp Blood? Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? I recommend you checking it out. I'll put the YouTube link of the film in the description below so you guys can go check that out. And I'll put Riley Lordan's channel, Slash and Cast podcast there. I'll put Peter Anthony's YouTube channel there. He also directed Roseblood, so you can go check out that Friday the 13th found film as well. And yeah, let's have a good talk in the comments about this movie. And yeah, because if you're a Friday the 13th Part 4 fan, I think you'll dig this. I think you'll really enjoy it. Remember what you're watching when you go to watch a fan film. Remember how much passion is involved of it. Remember how little money they're playing with. It's not like they're out. It's not like they're going out there getting, high top quality actors and have big production budgets. They do the best they can, and it's just amazing what they can do with little money and some passion and some drive. So excellent job. Really enjoyed it. So you guys are watching Backtrack Cinema. I will see you on the next video, and I'll see you in the movies. Cheers.